of the Flying Eagles, where the President Buhari has charged the Flying Eagles to go for broke and win the ongoing CAF Under 20 AFCON currently taking place in Egypt. Nigeria will face the Gambia today in the semi-finals of the competition with a ticket to the FIFA Under 20 World Cup finals already in the kitty. Delivering the president's message to the team, the sports minister Sunday Dare, who arrived in Cairo yesterday alongside former Super Eagles captain and aide to the president Daniel Amokachi, encouraged the Flying Eagles to aim for the ultimate prize. He said, Mr. President, and indeed the whole of Nigeria is proud of what you have already achieved. That is the major reason I have been directed by Mr. President to come to see you. The target is to win a World Cup ticket, and you have done that. Now go for the ultimate prize. You can repeat what you did at the Wafu B competition. You can smell the trophy now, so take it step by step and become African champions again, Dari said. Meanwhile, the Confederation of African Football CAF has appointed Libyan official Abdulrazak Ahmed as referee for Monday's evening Africa Under 20 Cup of Nations clash between Nigeria and the Gambia at the Cairo International Stadium out there in Egypt. Hamza Bouzid, who is from Algeria, will be the assistant referee, while Nigerian official Abdul Mukhtar Saleh and Jalal Jaid from Morocco will serve as assistant referee 2 and 4th official respectively. Butani said from Comoros will be in the match role of the match commissioner, and Imade El Fahous from Morocco will be general coordinator. For Ahmed, who previously was the 4th official when the Flying Eagles defeated Uganda in Thursday's quarterfinal at the Suez Canal Authority Stadium, and Jaid was also involved when Nigeria knocked out Mozambique 2-0 at the same venue on Saturday. The Gambia dismantled South Sudan 5-0 at the Haras El Hadou Stadium in Alexandria to pick one of Africa's ticket to the FIFA Under 20 World Cup finals in Indonesia, and is one of only 2 teams to have won all their matches at the 17th Africa Under 20 Cup of Nations ongoing in Egypt. Yet Nigeria's coach Ladan Boso is not fazed by the credentials of the opposition and would rather focus on the strength of his own team and his capacity to upturn the apple cart at the familiar Cairo International Stadium. He said previous results will not determine what happens in our semi-final clash against the Gambia. They have been in great form, and my boys have also recovered well and are in their element. It will be a great match, but I believe in my team, and we are confident of playing in the final on Saturday. So tonight, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be in action once again in one of the semi-final matches to see who gets to make it to the final of the competition, which will be played on Saturday. Actually, we call that the Flying Eagles so far have won this competition for the last 7 editions, and hopefully we'll be going, hoping that they win it one more time to make it 8 already. Flying Eagles have already qualified for the FIFA Under 20 World Cup, which already it's a good step in the right direction, a good achievement, and hopefully, if they emerge victorious today, then their chances of winning an 8th title will be, looking more and more like a possibility. Well, that match comes up later in the evening, and right here on Sports Orbit, we'll be keeping an eye to see how it all goes down. And from here, we wish the Flying Eagles good luck in that match, and we hope that they make it to the final of the competition, and who knows, go ahead to win it for the 8th time. Now, still on the AFCON Under 20, the Gambian captain Alegi Sain says the target of he and his teammate now is the 2023 Under 20 AFCON title. Recall that Gambia actually booked a place in the semi-finals of this year's tournament in Egypt after hammering South Sudan 5-0 to realize their dream of a first ever Under 20 AFCON title. For Gambia tonight, they must go past Flying Eagles of Nigeria in the semi-finals later on today. Recall that the Flying Eagles had initially bounced back from that opening day defeat to Senegal, defeating Egypt and Mozambique later on to actually move on to the quarterfinals, where they also overcame Uganda. In a video published on CAF's on AFCON Under 20 handle, saying expressed delight that Gambia made it to the World Cup. He then stated that up next for them is the under 20 AFCON title. He said, "We qualified for the World Cup, and I'm very happy. My teammates are very happy. We are coming, and we are not done yet because we need the trophy." Gambia have never played in the final of the under 20 AFCON in history. Meanwhile, the other final will see Senegal take on Tunisia in the other second semi-final. Recall that Senegal also has been one of the teams that were tipped or rated highly going into this tournament, and later on in the second semi-final they'll be up against Tunisia in that one to see who books one of the spots to the final of the AFCON under 20, which will go down on Saturday. Well, to some other stories now, to the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. The new date for the cross country race, which was initially postponed, will now hold on Saturday, March 18, as the new date for the postponed national cross country race. The Federation's first Vice President, Tafida Gadzama, who has the road race subcommittee, confirmed that the race earlier scheduled to hold last month will now hold on the 18th of March in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital. The AFN National Cross Country Race will hold on Saturday, and the Federation is making arrangement for a hitch-free event, said Gadzama, who also himself is also, an Olympic gold medalist. He won that medal in the year 2000 in the Olympics. Then, the AFN Road Race Subcommittee Chairman believes that the journey to start producing world-class middle and long-distance runners begin with the athletes and the coaches knowing the need to include cross-country training in their regime. He said, "I saw clips of the cross-country race held in just last month and was delighted our athletes and coaches are made to understand the need to run in competitions like that and train in the cross-country course to get better. The objective is not to produce world and Olympic medalists overnight, but to improve the performance of our athletes and make them competitive. If they are competitive, achieve the standards that will get them to run in continental and intercontinental road races, they can start making money that will use to take care of their families and contribute to the GDP of Nigeria," Gadzama added. Gadzama is also the 1997 African Under-20 400 meters champion. While for the EN Vice President, he says cross-country running will make our athletes better and stronger runners. According to experts, running cross-country not only build athletes' physical strength but also their mental strength. It goes on to say that anyone who has ever run cross-country understands the mental toughness that is necessary to complete a workout and a race. Recall that the first ever cross-country race in Nigeria just completed last month in just the capital of Plateau State, where a couple of foreign athletes who were in that competition, the Kenyans, the Ethiopians who participated, actually emerged victorious. But from reports we got, Nigerians did well, and hopefully in this other cross-country race, which will be like the second edition, Nigerian athletes will be strutting their stuff once again. But like Gadzama clearly, noted, it's not all about winning gold or silver medals in this competition, but it's to enable the Nigerian athletes get acquainted with cross country as one of the races, and from there, the federation can see how that can be developed and take it to future competitions. Now, away from that, now to some other stories out of England, where Middlesbrough manager Michael Carrick has heaped praises on Truba Akpom after the forward scored twice in 5-0 hammering of Reading on Saturday. Akpom became the first Borough striker since Brenislaven in 1989 to score 20 league goals in a single season with his brace yesterday. The Nigerian-born striker has so far scored 21 times in 28 appearances for Middlesbrough this season. Akpom could have had a hat-trick in the game but passed the chance to take a second penalty to his teammate Marcus Forss. Carrick said it's just being a team player, credit to him for that. Not many would have done that, but he understands it's about the squad. All the boys being in a good frame of mind. His first penalty was a good one, and it would have been easy for him to grab it, but he understands how grateful Marcus was to have a chance to score. It's been an incredible season for Akpom, who looked destined to leave the club in the summer. According to Carrick, he said it's a terrific achievement for Akpom hitting and then moving beyond the 20 goal mark. It's not easy to score that many goals. He scored all different type of goals for all since I've been here. I thought his performance was fantastic. He gets credit for all his goals, but his performance all round was terrific. And because we have threats in different areas, he ends up getting a bit more space to score that many goals, and hopefully he can carry on and set a new target for himself. Recall that Akpom made the permanent move from Arsenal to Middlesbrough in the last transfer window, and currently Middlesbrough doing very well in the Championship since former United interim boss Michael Carrick took over, and hopefully, who knows, they might just gain promotion to the Premier League come next season. At this point, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, Sport Obi continues. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round. Sports Orbit. We make the world go round. Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that break. It's still Sports Orbit now to some EPL, where we look at matches that went down in the course of the weekend. Of course, first we'll begin from the match that everyone has been talking about, and of course it was that all-important match between Man United and Liverpool yesterday, where it was a match where a lot of bookmakers, those who were involved in betting and all of that, never saw coming, as it ended 7 goals for Liverpool and 0 to Man United. In case you didn't hear it clearly, it was 7 goals Liverpool, 0 United. Well, initially the game started like it was going to be a game of, that was going to maybe end up in a draw, but the first goal came shortly before the stroke of halftime, and it was 1-0. But for a lot of United fans who had hoped that, United were going to bounce back, it was not to be, as in the second half, Liverpool kept on pouring in, and it was goal after goal. And, I think a lot of United fans were happy that, the match had to come to an end at some point, because at some point it was looking like it was going to even be more than 7 goals. And with that, it's been United's heaviest defeat, like we had since in the last 92 years. What a heavy one. And I think Ten Hag will really have to drill his boys going forward, because nobody saw it coming, considering the form that Liverpool have been in, and, juxtapose that with the form that United have been in. But that is part of the game. Sometimes it happens like this when you don't even expect it. And with that, Liverpool, who at the point looked like they were not, didn't have standing chance of getting into the top four, are now just 3 points behind Tottenham, but they are still 7 points behind Man United so far. But Liverpool, making a strong case, and the way it's going, who knows, they might just make it in the top four with the likes of Newcastle not doing too well in the last couple of matches. Initially, it looked like Newcastle were going to end up in the top four, but currently, gradually, like they say, the boys are being separated from the men. And in the last couple of 3-4 weeks, Newcastle hasn't have it good. Quickly, we'll take a look at a complete rundown of matches that went down in the EPL. Also, for Arsenal, once again, tightening their grip on top spot as they came back from 2 goals down against Bournemouth. It was really a scare for the Gunners, but they had to take a 96-minute strike from, a ball that floated came from a corner kick for Arsenal to take all 3 points in that one. In other games, of course, it was Man City 2-0 winners against Newcastle, Aston Villa 1-0 against Crystal Palace in that one, while for Chelsea and Graham Potter, I think some pressure off Potter as, after a long while, Chelsea were able to record their first victory in as many games over Leeds United. For Brighton, it was 4-0 against West Ham, while Wolves also defeated Tottenham in that one. Tottenham not being too consistent throughout the whole of this season. Well, same for Leicester also. For Southampton, glad for them to have snatched that victory in that one against Leicester City 1-0. It was in that one, while Nottingham Forest had to settle for a 2-all draw against Everton. Like we said, Liverpool, it was Liverpool 7, United 0, while Brentford and Fulham will play the last match of this weekend's fixtures today. That will be another London derby, and that match comes up 9 p.m. Nigerian time, and right here on Sports Orbit we will be keeping an eye on. That's much later in the day. Well, for Pep Guardiola also, he has declared that the next couple of matches will be very important for his team, Man City, and it will hope to define the season for his team, because in the next couple of weeks, Man City will be up against RB Leipzig in the Champions League, Burnley in the FA Cup, and also Crystal Palace in the Premier League. And for Guardiola, he said, we have 2 days off because it is necessary. We don't see each other for a while and before the international break. We have 3 games against Crystal Palace, Leipzig, and Burnley in 3 competitions. Guardiola said after the 2-0 win over Newcastle United on Saturday, he said, it will define what we can do for the rest of the season. City stretched their unbeaten run in all competitions to 7 games with victory over Newcastle, secured thanks to goals from Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva. Foden has recovered from a dip in form after the World Cup to score 4 goals in his last 3 games and 2 in 2 in the league. Goalkeeper Edison Moore kept his 100th clean sheet in the Premier League. It was really a really difficult game, Guardiola said. He said, we knew it with the quality they have. It is a threat, and they will be a threat for the next 5 years because they have many good things. They control the ball well in transition, set pieces, but yet a really good game. We defended really well. The solidarity between the two sides was amazing. We had our moments. They had their moments, but in the end, the big actions for 2 goals made the difference. Now, quickly to the Spanish League, the La Liga, where Barcelona have extended their lead to 10 points at the top of the La Liga table with a 1-0 over strong rivals Valencia. With that victory, the Catalans have moved up 10 points clear of Real Madrid at the top of La Liga on Sunday, thanks to Rafinha's early header. The Brazilian winger nodded the Catalans in front in the 16th minute, but after Ferran Torres missed a penalty and Ronald Araujo was sent off, the hosts were left fighting tooth and nail for the 3 points. Barca retreated in the final half hour following Araujo's 59th-minute red card, but survived to beat Ruben Barraga's Valencia, who are 19th and 2 points from safety. Barcelona's 1-0 Copa del Rey semi-final first leg triumph over Real Madrid on Thursday followed 2 consecutive defeats, and this narrow victory felt like a significant step towards a first league title since 2019. Madrid can cut the gap back to 7 points later on at Real Betis, but we're hoping a depleted Barcelona will stumble at Nou Camp. Without top scorer Robert Lewandowski, midfield maestro Pedro and Gavi, and winger Ousmane Dembele, the Catalans were unable to play their best football, but did enough to win. Well, he said, although the forward has not consistently shown since his last move from Leeds United last summer, his goals in recent weeks have held back a cope with Dembele's absence. Well, for Barcelona, 10 points, extending their lead on top of the table, and well, enough games still to play in the La Liga, but it's looking like Barca might finally lay their hands on the La Liga title once again since 2019, because Madrid have been inconsistent throughout this season, and it might prove a tough one to catch up with Barca. But the El Clasico still comes up, and that will go a long way in really determining who ends up as the champions of the 2023 season rather. Well, that does that on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Don't forget the Flying Eagles of Nigeria will be up against Gambia later on in the day. I will be keeping an eye on that. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll give you a complete review of the action, bit by bit action as it goes down tonight, and of course, sporting events all over the world. Well, we'll draw the curtain on today's episode of the program. Do join us once again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Nigerian time. We'll be here once again with another exciting and interesting episode of the program. My name is Alpha Cho. Do stay safe out there, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.